Hello, my name is David Tavares. I'm an Unreal Engine 5 game designer. Today, I'd like to review Inkpot, a plugin for Unreal Engine 5 developed by Nick Slavin of the Chinese Room, and I'll include various links to anything that I reference in the description below. I'd like to mention another creator, Games from Scratch. He provides a lot of news, and he did cover Ink and its programming language and suite in a nice article that I will also link. But I'm going to do a deeper dive on Inkpot specifically. But first, what is Inkpot? Inkpot is a wrapper that lets you use Ink in Unreal Engine. Ink is a narrative scripting language for games. You can type stuff out like you're writing stories. Um, Ink is developed by Inkle. It received an Epic Mega Grant. There's lots of information here. I'll link this as well. Inkle has also developed a lot of their own games using Ink. There's a lot of games listed here: Overboard, Heaven's Vault. That one I believe is actually pretty popular. Many of their books, the game Sorcery, other games as well. There's also a wide Ink library with a bunch of other tools and uses. If I scroll down here, there's also a list of other third-party games developed by people. These are the ones that Inkle has developed, and these are games that other developers have put together. Some of these you might even recognize or have played yourself. It seems like it's a very strong tool. I could pull up Inkle here as well. This is a sample story. So this is the actual, you're in Inkle. So I haven't got to the plugin yet, but this produces the basically the file types that you can plug into Unreal Engine and actually write down these. You might like recognize this type of like if you used any other programs that do this narrative design kind of stuff. Um, or if you've used Ink before, you might already know this, but it has its own resources. You can find all that in the Ink library for figuring out how to program and code in Ink. Um, but let's get closer to Inkpot. Now, Chinese Room has this GitHub page put together by Nick Slavin here. Something that I would recommend is make sure that you do these steps first. Make sure that you have .NET Framework 3.1 in Visual Studio 2022. I ran into an issue where it just was not compiling the code for me whatsoever. I think you actually have to restart your system after you install the .NET framework. And I found that the file that I downloaded before the restart did not work, so I had to re-download the exact same file here from the code. Just download the zip or any other way that you want to get the file. And then make sure that you follow the instructions to put it into the correct plugins folder when you start. Now, there's not much instruction here other than that's how you install it, but Nick also put together this other GitHub page for the Inkpot demo, and that's what we're going to go over today. There's a lot more instruction here. If you will have to know how to use Ink to create the base Ink files. But if you have that mastered, just learn a whole language, then you should be able to use the Inkpot resources here to get a firm understanding how you can apply this to Unreal Engine blueprints, which is potentially a very powerful pipeline. Just the collaboration between Ink and Unreal Engine via the Chinese Room's code here. So let me pop up. Let's go through this first. Importing Ink files. So when you actually create an Ink file, like right here in Inkly, you can type out a whole story. You see that there's like options, and it's like a choose your own adventure. A lot of stories, even like deep narratives that say, I don't know, Witcher 3 or what's another good one? Red Dead Redemption. You get options and choices of what you do in your world. You can pass information back and forth between your Ink file and what's actually going on in the Unreal Engine blueprints. So after you develop one of these, you can actually just open up the location in your Explorer, click and drag. It's that simple. As soon as you have the plugin installed, it now creates these ink files. So let's go here. You can see right here the stories. So right now there's Hello Ink, and this is just the default story. And then they have the demo, which the demo shows what's in the Inkpot demo. So you can use, if you're going through this and you're trying to figure it out, like reverse engineer it, you're going to come back a lot to this Inkpot demo, because this is going to be all the text that's in it. So let me jump right into the demo. This is what the demo looks like. Fair warning, if you go into the demo, you don't have really a character. You're kind of like free floating. Actually, let me just show you. You're kind of free floating, so if you like fly up in the air, you might actually kind of mess it up a bit. So I recommend just not right clicking or using, like Q or E. Just make sure you're on the ground and you walk. It says walk towards let me start over so I can make sure that I get all the information here. It says this is a demo of some of the types of interactions between InkScript, and that was too fast. Let me try it again. Interaction between InkScript and the game world. The ink flow is controlled by triggers that have been set up on the level blueprint. WASD to walk, left and right arrows to keys to turn, and now walk towards the colorless cubes. So yeah, I guess he doesn't want you to use the mouse at all, which makes sense because you will fly off. I'm just used to using the mouse because that's how you play games, right? So this is interesting because there's a collision right here. As soon as I collide with it, it starts the story. And it says, it's going to continue talking. But if I walk off of it, it gives me the story for being off of the collision. And it starts, how to walk again, because it hasn't ended. So if I walk onto here and I let it finish, for these cubes we're waiting for the ink variable color cube, details panel for the cube to see. Open the props. I'll go all over this. The slash color cube and the ink cube and what color should they be. So see now it says what color should they be. I'll show you that in the story, and then it's got the options red, blue, and green. So let me pull those up right here. So I've gotten through. So the collision was this big cube encounter. Actually, I'll just exit out of this. You notice that this is a collision here called Trigger 1, and this is on the level blueprint. So what's the Trigger 1 reference goes to the switch flow to path big cube encounter. So what is switch flow to path? This is communicating directly to, you see, since you have the Inkpot plugin, you can get Inkpot, begin a story, set it to story. And now you can do the various paths within the story. And so it's saying that once you get the Trigger 1 reference, do the switch flow to path. You notice it has the restart checked here. When I walked onto it and walked off and walked back on, it started the story again because I had the restart checked. Otherwise, it just goes to the last line. I'm not sure if there's a good way yet to just not have any interactions then. Maybe just like ends that part of the story or something. Obviously you can do that at blueprint, but I'm not sure if just basically switch flow to path can communicate, just end the story. But it is interesting that it can communicate that way. But it communicates bidirectionally, you see, because you can also change the variable. Let me actually finish what it wanted me to do here. I'll skip all this and just go straight here. These cubes can react to ink by changing the value. For these cubes, waiting for the ink variable color cube to change. Check the detail panel for the cube to see this under Inkpot Watch. Use blueprint inky cube. Now these cubes have no color. What color should they be? Now remember I said that this will reset unless it's on the last one. So watch what happens if I go off. If I will go back on. Now it says the cubes are white. What color should they be? Before it just said what color should they be. Why is that? Well, it has this big cube encounter. It says if not visited cube, it's actually reading this as code. It's not just text. You're not. It's not just a story you're writing. Then say all these words. Else, the cubes are cube color. What new color should they be? And what's their current cucumber cube color? They're white. So the cubes are white. Now if you go here, this is the blueprint for the cubes themselves. It has this function, set functions to do all the different colors. Default is white, RGB 111. But it can set different cube colors based on my choice. So it has this watch color variable. This is something that's here due to this component. We can see that right here. So when you want to begin a story, you get it off the Inkpot and sell you which story to begin. And you can, let me find the component here. There it is. Inkpot watch component. Most of the information is here if you're trying to like figure out exactly how this works. You can provide the component, add it to the blueprint, and then it's got a ink watch component event that you can pull, and that shows it whenever a variable changes. It will find that the variable's changed, and then you can just use that as information, a variable that you can feed into your blueprints and actually interact with the world and do dynamic things. There are other ways to do dynamic things. It shows here that a story change delegate could do it as well. There are some other examples in this demo. But let me actually finally do what's expected of me and change the color. These cubes are waiting for a variable cube color to change. The details pattern. I don't know if you noticed, but it's color. It's the Chinese room is a UK studio, so you know us primitive Yanks spell color incorrectly, so I'll change it to green. Green, green, green. It's not easy being green. Whoa! Wow, they're green. Let me just run through the rest of this demo before I keep on jumping back and forth. Now go and check with the other areas. Come back when you change the cube to change the cube's color again. Okay, visit the blue box or the red rondel. Let's go red rondel. Rondel. Is that another name for a circle or a sphere? Red is the color of the wavelength. Okay, it's gonna give me a bunch of facts about being red here. Which is cool because it's all written out in the demo ink document. So this can be on, like text your characters are reading, or maybe even something that's like in a book in a game. This is like an easy one-to-one for like narrative game, like what do they call those? Visual novels. But I mean, even a game like like Red Dead Redemption, Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077. Where there's a lot of words on the screen, you can probably use this in conjunction with like voiceover audio. Color of Red Passion. Wow, there's a lot of words here. But that's what it's showing off, is that you can just write and write and write and write. It's all in a single file, and you can reference it all. All right. Did it actually tell me to do something? I lost. Shadow the flow switch can continue from where they left off. You can either use other color to switch the flow and continue. Leaving the arrow, pause the script for that flow. Okay, cool. Check out the blue box. All right. There we go. Checking out the blue box. Blue is the color of the sky and ocean. Two of nature's vast and eye-inspiring. Yeah. There's one thing I would do. I'd probably slow down the text a bit. I probably could do that in the blueprint. Blue has a wide range of shades and hues from light and sky blue, deep, reaching. See, I can't finish the sentences. Blue is often associated, but that's fine. You get full control over these things. This is just a little demo. I can read it in my head fast. Let's see if we can. In the Middle Ages, blue is a very expensive color and is made from the mineral lapis lazuli. I got it. But just barely. Blue is the color of the human eye. Is a color of the human eye. My eyes are blue, see? Okay. Lots of cool facts about blue. All right. Blue, blue, blue. Regard the red rondel. My regards. Blue sends its regards. Oh, okay. So it's showing how the I mentioned before that the last. See the blue box again. Blue is a popular choice for everything from home decor to fashion art. See the blue box again. Oh, is it going to be random? Is this the random part? Okay, enough of facts about red and blue. Walk over to the parameters pressing pad. I think that's this one. See how easy to press parameters to ink. Okay. These parameters have been passed from blueprint to ink. Hello from blueprint. False. Boolean false. Answer 42. It's the answer to everything. Pi 3.142. Nephews Huey, Dewey, and Louie. See the level blueprint to see how this has been set up. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the level blueprint. Which one's the level blueprint? Demo. All right, so that's down here. Blueprint's still playing. I think. Maybe not. Am I in the level blueprint? It's called demo level blueprint. Yeah. Oh, here it is. On actor begin overlap, trigger parameter, flow parameter test. Choose path strings. Here are the strings. So the answer is false. 42, 3.142. Hello from blueprint. Huey, Dewey, and Louie are added to an array. Pass to this make array of values, and the path is the string. Story continue. Let's see, what did it say here in the parameter passing? So I'm supposed to pass a message, a boolean, an answer, a value of pi, and nephews, but none of that information. Well, technically it is in here because it's in, I think this is a comment, temp return value 42. Oh, but it says true. Okay. And visited. Okay. I don't know Ink's language quite well yet. I could sort of garner what's going on here. But notice this says true, and it was passed as false because of what was in here. Let's see what the next step says. There we go. What happens if I leave? Go back to the blue box. I think it's just going to make me go back and forth forever. Blue is a popular choice. Change the color of cubes again. Yeah, I think it's going to make me go back and forth forever. It's a... Cubes are green. What color should they be? Blue. Blue is the choice you made. The cubes are now blue. Yep. Oh, on the ground again. Why is this not? There we go. Did I get any more information here? I don't think I did. Change the colors of the cubes again. Turn to the red. Yeah, it's just making me go back and forth forever. This is one area that did not make it into the state of rotation external function demo. This section demos how Ink could call blueprint function, and this returning from blueprints is what is returned. Okay, so that's the information from the right here, external functions demo. Oh, that's what I was reading earlier. That's right. It didn't provide any information in the parameters, but the external function demo just actually printed that out. So it could provide external functions. Data could flow by bidirectionally. So overall, I think how do I put this? It's this is actually a very useful tool, especially for large teams where you're working with like maybe a narrative design team and like quest designers and then like system designers, and you need to pass information back and forth. This lets narrative just like type like it's a story. Um, Almost like a choose your own adventure. Probably a lot more comfortable this way. I think that the games that I've been developing recently do use a lot of narrative, tell a lot of stories, work out a lot of quests, a lot of, like puzzles and like things to read and that kind of thing. But I think I probably might. Well, I'll try this. I'll see if I can implement Ink into my games. Right now, I've been more than happy just developing my own like functions library for things like that. Like if there's going to be a dialogue, I just uh, make sure that they run the function and that the particular actor has their own words and stuff like that, rather than an entire story written out. I associate it to the blueprint that's acting, um, and but I do see the value of having one gigantic script being a file that can be referenced. Um, so, what do you think? Will you be using Inkpot for your games? Um, Let me know in the comments because I want to see more reasons to use this because it seems like a very interesting and powerful tool. Thank you. I was David Tavares, Unreal Engine 5 game designer, and good night.